Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's hear from Abdullah Mahadi Kankara, a guardian of one of the rescued students.
When I hear the news or the story, I'm very, very happy to hear the release of this abducted government science secondary school Kankara students. Majority of these students are our junior brothers. So since from the kidnapping of these students, we are in critical condition in the town. The majority of the parents and we the guardians, we meet together to pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring an end to this kind of banditry in the town and in the state and in the nation all over. So we are very, very happy about this issue. Yesterday in the town, majority of the people are happy about the release of these abducted students.
That's a guidance from Kankara. Now, talking about the parents, before we go to the training, equipping children with the requisite knowledge on safety, prompt safety when it comes to when they have a situation at hand. Help come at this time for the parents?
Well, it's also part of the responsibility of government to not only to take care of the medical needs of the children, the students who have been in captivity for about a week, but also to extend similar gesture to the parents, particularly the mothers. You know, mothers are more emotional than men. We men can cope, we can stomach, we can play man. But women, you could see even on TV yesterday, many of the mothers who broke down in tears. So these women needs to be, they need to go through some psychological evaluation, and there should be some form of therapy that will be offered them by the experts, maybe psychologists or psychiatrists, as the situation may demand. But I think similar gestures needs to be extended to the parents so that it will calm their frayed nerves and they can get back to normal. And also, you know, you need to reassure these parents that they should still release their students
back
for
to
school. Because, like I pointed out in my column, I said the grave danger with the abduction is many students may drop out of school. Many parents may withdraw their children from school.
That's another aspect.
That's another aspect. 13.5 million we already have out of school. That's already a burden. So we must do everything to encourage the parents of these students. 344. In fact, it was only yesterday we getting to know that there are 344 and not 333 that was initially we were initially told. And thankfully, unlike the news report, which was fake, that there were some casualties, some of them died, we have been told that there was no death. So, which also means we need to manage our information very properly. But the bottom line is that prevention is better than cure. So what we need to do, in addition to the earlier gestures of securing, having perimeter fence, having security gadgets, scanners, CCTV, maybe drones and all of that, what we can also do is security education. Mainstreamed into the daily, to the curriculum of students, so they get through this induction. In the event of an attack, what do you do? It may not necessarily be abduction. What if they are invaded by fire,
disaster,
exactly,
water,
flooding, fire, or even armed robbery attack, which may not necessarily lead to abduction? How do they react? How do they cope? What should be their measures? What should be their response? So, and it shouldn't just be targeting the students, even their caregivers. Their hostel mistresses and masters, house masters and mistresses,
as well as host communities. Now,
all of them.
Talking about the host communities, safeguarding the environment against kidnapping, how can we help? How can we sensitize our communities on how to help, on what to do, on how to raise alarm in the right direction to help themselves as well as those in community?
You see, this is a synergy that needs to be built between the school and the host community. They need to reach out. You understand? The community must know that it's their ward and children that are in these schools. So they also hold it a responsibility. In fact, it should start from PTA, Parent Teacher Association. They should take leadership to say, look, these are our children. If we have to provide vigilante for them during the day and during the night, let this be our sacrifice to make sure that our students, our wards, they study in without fear or hindrance. So the PTA has a role to play. The traditional ruler of that community has a role to play. The community development association of that environment where those schools are located, whether private or public, have a role to play. In fact, generally, we all have a role to play. Part of my advocacy is this. You need to also have a hotline, a toll-free hotline that you can call in the event of an attack. So maybe 3 digits, 122 or 211,
Very
or simple number to remember that you can dial, which is toll-free, which can alert the security agencies to come to immediate rescue. Because if we have rapid response, maybe if at all there will be any abduction in Kankara, it won't be of this magnitude. For you to shepherd 344 students,
it's huge.
It's huge. And I think there's something missing in the information we are being supplied. These 344 students could not have been conveyed on motorbikes. There's no way. How will you convince them to jump on motorbikes at the dead of night? They said it happened about dinner time. That's about 8 p.m. So how will somebody come on motorbikes and start saying, oh yeah, mount, and then let's go? No, something must have happened. Either there was connivance or collaboration. These students possibly were shepherded like a goat or sheep into the forest. Otherwise, to say that these bandits came on motorbikes and ferried them away, I think it leaves much to be imagined. But be that as it may, the good news, as I've said earlier on, these students have been released. To God be the glory. Let's prevent future occurrence. Let's overhaul our safe school initiative, make it more people-friendly. If we need private sector support to fund, make sure that every boarding school have minimum security measures, like perimeter fencing, the security guards, CCTV cameras, scanners, toll-free line, security education for both teachers and students, and all of these measures. This may be like a simple security plan that will be put together by the State Ministry of Education in collaboration with the SUBEB, State Universal Basic Education, as well as State Education Ministry. All of them must work together with ANCOPS, Association of Nigerian Principals, as well as that of it. All of these relevant associations must come together and come together and come up with a security plan for public schools and private schools which are boarding. Because the trend, as we have seen, is that the targets are boarding schools for abductions. So, and you need to heighten security from the time the school closes till night and daybreak. So, what security plans are we putting in place? How do we ensure that PTA, the Community Development Association, the traditional ruler, and other relevant agencies and associations play their own role in securing the lives of these future leaders? Because if these students have never been released, we may have lost a future governor or a future president. Incidentally, that's the home state of our president. Just imagine when he was primary or secondary school, if he had been abducted, will he have become a president today? So every life matters. And I'm happy that this presidency took it upon itself to make sure that there was safe release of all of these students. This is the best Christmas gift I've gotten this year.
All right, I want to thank you so much for coming. Security education, very important. Very important. Jide Ojo, public analyst, thank you so much for coming on Panorama.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Compliments once again.
And that's Panorama today. Thank you so much for your time. And do not forget to connect with us at the NTA to connect and stand against rape and rapists, as well as kidnapping.